Hello, my friends. Happy Wednesday. Jill Ortiz here in my empowered fitness community for women over 40 looking to get energized, confident, and strong. I am here today to answer all your burning questions on menopause, weight gain, weight loss, hormones, fitness, nutrition, motivation, all the things. And so I'm going to go through my worksheet here. I have a spreadsheet of all the newest members to our group to join us in the last week. And I can't wait to tackle some questions. So if you're on here, let me know that you've watched this. Let me know you're here. And what else? That's it. If you like, what I encourage you to do, and I'll probably repeat this throughout this live, is I've included a link here to book a consultation call with me. We call it a game plan call, and it's with me personally, and it's about 45 minutes where I get to know you and hear about your struggles, your goals, and make that connection between what's not happening for you and what we need to be doing for you to achieve your goals. So I'm excited. I'm glad you're here. Thank you for joining. Hi, Cassandra. Hi, Krista. So let's get started, all right? I want to start by just going across this line here where I asked the question of many of you, what is holding you back from achieving your health and fitness goals? And so I'm going to read out these responses. There's a lot of different responses, and then there's one that keeps coming up, okay? And I'm going to tell you what to do. So we've got motivation, menopause, money, nutrition and weightlifting knowledge, time restriction, staying motivated, getting over the mental barrier of starting a strength training routine, lack of motivation, and motivation to exercise and how to do it. So that was at least 3 of you who said that motivation is holding you back. And I know that those of you who are new here may not know that every Monday I do a Monday motivation pep talk and encourage you to take action, ask for help, reach out, schedule a call with me, start making a plan, start building belief and momentum, start with some kind of new tools that will move you forward, and to stop all the fads and the distractions and the craziness of all the different things that are out there, and find your one path, focus in on it, and see it through, have consistency, and find a mechanism for accountability. And that will absolutely help you build momentum and motivation. So first you gotta go either to the featured section here. The videos, these live videos only stay in Facebook for 30 days, but I have put all of these videos, both the Motivation Monday Pep Talks and the Wednesday Q&As, on my YouTube channel. So if you look up Jill Ortiz Fitness on YouTube, you can binge watch those motivation videos until you get it, right? And then book a call with me and we will get you in the groove, okay? So menopause, that is generally going to be a matter of knowledge of what exactly does it take to get to your goals during this period of life. And it's a new set of rules and you gotta learn them. Otherwise you're gonna be playing by the wrong set of rules in the wrong game, and you're gonna be spinning your wheels for quite a while. And that includes nutrition, it includes your fitness, it includes stress management, sleep management, and also hormones and supplementation. And so those are the pillars that I help my clients align to then see, wow, this isn't quite as hard when these things are aligned. Yes, I understand that mental barrier. That was Sarah who said that what's holding her back is the getting over the mental barrier of starting a new routine. And it can be very overwhelming, especially when there's so many different things being thrown at you on social media. I try to keep it simple. And let's see, it was April who said that time is holding her back. I try to keep things simple, effective. We're all busy. And we need to be doing as little as possible to get the best results. So if you want to chat with me, I can help you with getting started. I like to, it's interesting, so my younger son, Jackson, today we celebrated that he completed week number 1 of Fit and Fast 2.0, one of my favorite programs that I have developed for strength training. It's 5 days a week with a bonus 6th leg day, which he opted to do today in his last day of his first week. We had to take a pause because he had 2 soccer game days over the weekend. And I heard myself in this bonus leg day video because I was doing my own workout while he was doing that. And I heard myself say, how special it is that I can do the same program that you as maybe a beginner or intermediate lifter can do. And I'm very advanced in my lifting. We can still do the same programs. We're just going to be using different weights or modifications. And that's what's really special is these programs that I've created are great for progressing yourself and starting where you're at and modifying as needed and then getting better and better and getting up to par. I've got lots of clients that their wins of the week include celebrations of picking up the same weights that I use in the videos that they're following. So very special. So let's get you educated. Let's answer some questions. When I asked the question of what is your 3 to 6 month fitness goal, I got lose weight, feel better about myself, and gain muscle as the 3 top answers here. And I think that what happens is when we focus on gaining that muscle, we then lose weight and then we start to feel better about ourselves. And I'm going to share with you, I shared it with my clients this morning. When I wake up at 5:45 a.m. when my husband's not home so that I can walk all 3 dogs, and I have to do it in 2 rounds because otherwise it's a mess and I'm constantly trading leashes around. But I was watching some reels as I was walking the dogs this morning, and one came up with J-Lo, and the interviewer, I don't know who it was, a morning show person, asked her, what do you do to stay in shape and to look so good at your age? She's over 50. And she said, well, I weightlift. She said, I only have 40 minutes. And I go to my trainer, I said, you got 40 minutes. I need you to make it as effective as possible. And she said, I focus on strength training. And she talked about how important it is to be building muscle. Number one, because we are losing it. And once you hit 50, you lose it at a very, very rapid pace. And so we need to be building that muscle. And what happens when we build that muscle is our metabolism starts to become more efficient, more effective, quicker. And that's when our fat starts to burn better when we're at rest. So me talking to you, sitting here answering questions, because I've got a lot of muscle on my body, I'm burning fat while I'm sitting here. But if you have a higher fat content in your body, if your makeup is more fat than muscle, then you're not sitting there burning calories at the rate I am. So I can eat more than you might be able to and maintain or lose weight. And so it's, so that's what you got to do. You got to be focusing on muscle gains, and that is absolutely going to help you with losing weight, along with nutrition and proper rest and recovery, stress management. And you will no doubt not only feel better about yourself because you're losing weight, but because you're gaining strength and because you're overcoming hard things. Like Sarah said, getting over that mental barrier of just starting a new fitness routine. When you're given the routine and it's simple and it's easy, you can do it at home, you can do it in under 30 minutes. My Fit and Fast 2.0 is just 25 minutes a day. It's really empowering. And that program in particular has 5 minutes of core work every day. And so with that, you're gaining strength in your middle. And think about how much more confident, how much better you feel about yourself when you have a strong core. When your abs are strong, your glutes are strong, you stand a little taller, you feel more confident. Same thing when you get good at weight training. And I have one of my brand new clients, Tanya. She put a picture of herself in our group maybe yesterday, and she said, look at me, I'm at a hotel gym. Who dat, right? She's like, who is this girl working out at a hotel gym? And that's exciting too, because she's gaining confidence in herself and the journey in being a weightlifter and gaining muscle, and she's seeing the scale move too. So, okay, let's get into the particular. Hi, Brianna. Hi, Sylvia. Let's get into the particular questions that were asked from this new group. We've got Lisa, who says, how do I sort out the BS from the truth? And I think I actually answered this last week. If I go to last week's thing, it was, kind of like, how do I figure out what's real and what's legit? That was what whoever asked that question last week said, how do I know what's legit? And I think number one is anything that is not promoting balance for you is not right. And I remember I said this yesterday in a call, probably twice, 2 calls, maybe yesterday, and I said the day before in one of my game plan calls, I said, we're always looking for work-life balance. We are always looking for me and my family balance, right? Balance between me and my husband and me and the kids and just me time and me and my parents and, and all the different things. And we're always looking for balance. Yet when it comes to nutrition, we're constantly looking for some extreme thing that's going to get us fast weight loss that other people are doing. We're always looking for these fads and the trick and, what's going to help me get there. And so anything that's really extreme, that's total BS, because it's not going to be sustainable and it's not going to be the best thing for you, because your body needs balance. It needs regulation right now. And so that would be one red flag, right? How else to sort the BS from the truth? I think you are a smart woman, and you can tell when somebody's BSing you or has your best interest at heart. And that's a big reason why I like to book these game plan calls with you, because I think it's incredibly important to actually have that one-on-one conversation with anybody who's considering being a client of mine, so that you and I can see if we feel like a good fit for each other. I always like to give people my time, give people options for different costs, different price levels. That's something that's important to me. Give different options for how much time you're spending with me in coaching, whether you just need some tools and to do it on your own, or you really need some hand holding. And I think that when we hear certain things, if we kind of say like, what's the catch, and this doesn't sound right, or I don't know if I believe you, I think that you kind of have to trust your gut. But then the next thing is that I've always found that when I was looking into a program or something, or a coach, I've had many business coaches, it was extremely important to me to reach out to that person's former clients, or watch testimonials, or ask for a page of testimonials, right? Not just the written ones, but the videos, because then you really hear, you can see the interaction between a coach and a client. You can hear from the clients what they love about the program. And quite honestly, I mean, all of my clients are in this group. You'll see they're going to be the ones who are saying, I watched this. So all you got to write, watch, below, is I would give you any one of their, profiles and say, hey, just message my client so-and-so. I think you would really relate to her. And if you have questions, feel free to ask her, because my clients are very open. I'm very open about, the process and the ups and the downs, what's hard. Also, I guess anything that's promising something really, really short-term, huge gains or huge losses, I think you have to question, and get your answers, right? So get your answers, and if you need time to think about it, don't be afraid to explore options and say to somebody, I appreciate you giving this information to me, let me think about it, or let me run it by my partner. If anybody is really pressuring you to make a decision before you get off a call, I don't trust them, right? I don't like that. I don't like high pressure sales myself. So hopefully Lisa gives you some ideas of how to sort out the BS from the truth. I think you have to find people who you trust, right? And see what their clients are saying. Leslie says, what is the right combo of macros? How do I ramp up my metabolism? So we have to talk about this, and we have to set your macros. I know how to calculate macros. For those of you who don't know what macros is or have not been successful with it, macros is a system for calculating your daily food intake. And we are calculating your overall calories, and then we're calculating the amount of proteins, carbs, and fats that make up every single one of those calories. So everything you eat is going to fall into one of those 3 buckets. And a lot of foods are going to have all 3 of those buckets. Portion of the food is going to be all 3 of those. And so we have particular formulas that we use. They account for your physical activity, your goals, your current weight, perhaps your stage of life. And that's kind of a nuanced thing that I do, is my macros plan is also tailored to women going through hormonal changes. And that might be different than a program that is not made for women over 40, right? And so we use the formula to decide your total calorie intake. And we decide based on, philosophy and knowledge and science, how we split the fats, the carbs, and the proteins. And then what you have to do is you have to make the plan that fits those macros. I personally do not believe in just tracking what you eat all day and at the end of the day trying to somehow make a meal that fits what you have left. It doesn't work. Most people will fail. It's very time consuming. It's not enjoyable, and it's just not sustainable. So I like to make a meal plan that fits the macros. And so that's what I do for my clients who are learning macros, is I teach them the behind the scenes, but I give them the simple plan that already fits the macros, and then I give them recipes that are easy to switch out for other ones. When you start your macros plan, we don't know if it's going to be perfect, right? You may not lose weight as fast as you want to. You may lose weight too fast. And it's a baseline from which to then make changes. And it's also not going to be the same macros that you keep forever and the same calories forever, because the body is smart and the body will adjust so that you don't change. And so you've got to sometimes change your macros. And that's why in my programming, we phase our nutrition. Sometimes some people do macros, and other times people never do macros, and sometimes people go back and forth like me. Like, I'll do macros for the next 6 weeks because I'm doing a challenge that has a cash prize, and I want to really see, where I'm at with a certain level of macros. So I'll tell you, I set my macros for this week, and in the last, what's today, just Wednesday? In the last 2 days, I've lost 4 pounds already. Well, so this is going to be a pretty aggressive weight loss period for me. So I have to know that. And that's not sustainable for me forever. And I shouldn't keep it that low forever because 4 pounds in 2 days, we don't want to see that kind of weight loss forever. But for a short, 6 weeks is a little long for that. We'll see if I make it that long. But we want to more ideally be losing 1 to 2 pounds a week so that we know it's a sustainable level of nutrition. I also am just coming off a period where I was eating probably closer to 2,000 calories, and I was really looking to build a lot of muscle. Now I'm not so concerned about building muscle. I'm more concerned with shedding fat. So I lower my calories, and that's why I'm seeing the weight come down so quickly. So we might tweak as we go. And so that's part of learning macros, having a coach who's teaching you, collaborating along the way, and being consistent with it. Because if we don't know if we were actually following the macros, then we don't know if they worked or not, right? So I know it's working because I'm eating according to the plan that I made. I know what the plan is. And so that gives me a very clear idea of what that plan is going to do for my body. And I'll change plans as my goals kind of change as well. So ramping up your metabolism is going to mean eating the right amount of food, total calories, and probably eating the right amount of protein. If we're under eating chronically, what happens is that our metabolism slows because the body's saying, well, I don't even know if I'm going to get enough food today to support everything I need to do today and support my exercise and my daily activities. And we don't want to resort to constant caffeine injections because that can have a fatiguing effect on our adrenal glands. So we need to learn the right amount to properly fuel. So I'd say under eating is going to be a big problem with your metabolism. So we want to make sure that we're boosting that metabolism with more food and regular eating throughout the day. Scratch intermittent fasting at this point in life. Okay. All right. Next question. Oh, my battery is dying. How do I get rid of this menopause belly? Stress, high cortisol is going to be the greatest driver of menopause belly. And so we need to manage stress, and there's so many different kinds. We've got our mental stress, right? Work, home, family, relationships, all of that stuff, the freaking politics. We've got the stress of the workouts that we're doing. Are we overdoing it? Are we overdoing it on cardio? Not doing any workouts is also stressful to your body. Your body needs to move. Are we under eating? Are we overeating? Are we eating a bunch of chemicals and additives? There's a lot of different types of stress. Are we not getting enough recovery? Are we not getting enough sleep? So, and then hormonal stress, right? Our hormones are changing. So how do we manage that too? So that is what causes that weight gain around the middle for women going through hormonal changes. You are losing your estrogen, and that was a hormone that helped you with managing fat storage. So now you're just storing the fat, and if you're not doing the right things, kind of doing them better than you did before, then that's where the belly fat storage is going to come from. Get that muscle level in your body up and get in control of your nutrition and your stress and your recovery, and you are going to see that menopause belly come down. You also need to keep in mind that when your hormones are changing, your gut flora starts to change, meaning the bacteria in your gut changes with all the hormone changes, and so certain foods that didn't affect you before may make you very sensitive now. So introducing some digestive enzymes could be something helpful, and staying away from foods that upset your belly. Also alcohol, excessive salt, those are also going to cause bloat, which you might see in your belly. Okay. So Lisa, hopefully that helps. Everybody give a thumbs up if you like that explanation. Kimberly just says, why is it so hard? She wants to lose 50 pounds. Kimberly signed up for my 5-day menopause makeover, and so she is on her way to learning. And that's all I can ask for, is that you start taking some little steps and start gaining the knowledge as to why it's so hard. And once you know all the keys, it's not so hard anymore, right? And also I think having accountability, right? Having support, having a community around you of other women who are doing the same, that makes it a lot easier. Not having a plan, that makes it hard, right? Not being consistent, that makes it harder, because if you're not consistent, you're not getting that momentum going. It's like trying to, roll a snowball up a hill, and I don't know if anybody ever does that. But if you could picture it, I could picture it, and you stop every single foot, right? And you stop, and then you have to figure out, how am I going to even just start this again? As opposed to if you get that ball rolling and you just keep going, no matter how slow, you're still, gaining that momentum, and then you'll get to the top and it'll just roll all the way down. All right. I will not be seeing that until December when I go up to New York for Christmas. Maybe I'll roll a snowball. Okay, no, I won't. I don't go out in the snow. I hate the cold. All right, Rhonda, who I have a call with coming up, she wants to know about weight loss during menopause. All right, well, I think I just answered that. That again, let's go over it, right? We've got 5 pillars that have to be in alignment. You've got your stress, you've got your nutrition, you've got your fitness, you've got your sleep, and you've got your hormones and supplementation that will help you, okay? So those are going to be crucial. If even one of those is out of whack, your momentum can get slowed down. So that's what I'm here for. This is what my specialty is: menopausal metabolism and advanced female hormones. I'm a NASM certified personal trainer and certified in a million different types of fitness and nutrition. And so this is what I do. And so I'm here to teach you and help you and guide you and keep you accountable, keep you consistent. Jeanette wants to know when to eat. Eat all day long. So you wake up, you want to eat, right? So let's say, I feel like, so I studied abroad in South America when I was in high school, and I swear they had to light the burner in the morning on some heating system that would actually then give me water for a warm shower, right? And so unless you turned that thing on, you are going to be taking cold showers. And so if you think of your body as an incinerator, right? I'm like a calorie incinerator. I eat food and my body makes energy and, you know, it metabolizes my food and all the stuff. And then I have energy to use. If you think about that, like you have to light your fire, right? And so when you wake up in the morning, do you want the cold water or do you want your hot water? You want to light that thing right when you wake up. So one of the big things is wake up and eat protein, right? Don't wake up and caffeinate. That's going to spike your cortisol. Wake up, although that's what I do. It works for me because then I work out. I burn it off. But wake up and start with protein. And then keep your food, you know, you should know when to eat. Your body will tell you when to eat. Keep your food somewhat even throughout the day. So if you look at my macros plan, I should have grabbed it. I should bring it in. Let me go get it. Let's go for a little field trip, okay? I always say this. I should have brought my this over. I should have brought my that over. Let's find my meal plan. Here it is. Okay. Welcome to my kitchen. This is what my macros meal plan looks like. I already know what I'm going to eat for the day. I know it fits my macros. So I'm eating pretty much about 500 calories in the morning, 500 calories midday, and 500 calories in the evening, right? So I'm eating throughout the day. I'm eating pretty evenly. And when I say morning, I mean breakfast and then a morning snack. When I say afternoon, I mean lunch and an afternoon snack. And when I say evening, I mean dinner and like a little something at night. And so I'm eating all day long, and my body tells me when I'm hungry. So I generally start to feel my belly rumble while I'm in the middle of these lives because it's just been that many hours that I'm using up the food that I ingested earlier, and it's time for more. So eat when you're hungry, but also try to eat before you're starving, because then you'll eat, you know, just out of panic, and eat in an even manner. So even my carbs, proteins, and fats are pretty balanced throughout the day. So I'm not eating like all the carbs for breakfast and all the protein for dinner. I'm staying even throughout the day. Very important for menopausal weight loss. Okay, April, she just says, what do I do? She wants help with the nutrition and weightlifting knowledge. She's got time restrictions. April, I think I sent you my calendar last night. Let's set up that call and let's get you on a plan. Nutrition framework, fitness plan. Let's just get you started. You could start Monday and you'll be like, wow, I like feel so much better and in control by next Friday. That's how it works. That's how we get success. Mary, why doesn't anything work anymore? Because you're probably not changing your approach to match your stage of life, right? So that's what we need to do. We need to understand what works, and then we have to execute that. We have to execute it with consistency. And so my guess is that since your struggle here is staying motivated, you're probably not carrying out the right approach for long enough to see the results. Point blank. Most people aren't. Most people, they start something that's not sustainable and then they quit it after a few days. So that's what we need. Sarah asks, how do I get to support my different body different being, being different over 40, specifically with exercise and nutrition to maintain or release weight? So I think that's pretty much everything I've already said. Again, it's understanding the tools that apply to you now and then seeing them through with consistency and tweaking along the way and changing what you're doing along the way, right? So you need to be changing your approach so it doesn't get boring, so you don't like just stop doing it, and so that your body doesn't plateau, okay? That's the key. Sandy is our last question. I didn't even look to see what time it is. My belly's not rumbling yet, but it's 12:28. Maybe I'll walk the dogs before I eat. How do I get rid of the menopause belly? All right, I think we already, Lisa had asked that before. Stress, nutrition, fitness, sleep, and hormone support. That's all you need. And I'm here to teach you that. So go ahead. Oh, Sandy, I've got her on my calendar too. I love that a lot of you this week are already on my calendar. So anybody else who's in here, if you've been struggling, if you've worked with me even in the past, I know Davina and Brianna, we've worked together in the past. If you want to book a call, even if you've talked to me in the past or been a past client, if you're struggling, you're welcome to get in touch and let's figure out what's been going on and what needs to change so that we can get you on the right path and successful forever, right? So my coaching program is called Empowered Fitness Mastery, and my goal for you is not to have you on a leash forever, but to teach you the tools that will help you survive, help you thrive, not survive. Yeah, I want you to survive, but help you really thrive and be able to do it on your own and make your own really educated decisions that feel good for you and that you know will work. All right, so I'm here for support. I will see you on Monday. Keep an eye out for any other fun things that I have going on, and friend me if you haven't. Watch my stories either on Facebook and Instagram, although I'm not really good at keeping up on those, but you can see my doggies and my workouts and my kids. So, all right, that's enough. Bye, everybody. Have a great day.